To hop on here real quickly and show you the Google Earth map of Becky's neighborhood. And I think it's really, really important to have a visual of this in order to make up your mind if a getaway car was able to leave the scene of the crime without someone seeing it, or at least without someone seeing it and thinking it had anything to do with a crime. Now, real quickly, this is Becky's house. Obviously, it's labeled. If we scroll in, this is what is left of her house. I believe this Google Earth is from 2021. So, a few years ago, this is a screenshot. I don't know, or a picture of it. I don't know if it's still like this in 2023, but I believe it probably is. Now, remember, the crime happened back in 2006. So at this point, it's almost been 20 years. So keep that in mind when we look at the neighbors' houses and where the trees are and everything. This right here, I believe, is Becky, where the garage was, the driveway. And this dirt path here is their dirt driveway. And this is the main neighborhood road that her house is on. Okay. I believe, by the way, this is part of Becky's property. I don't know what that is now, what's going on there, but I believe that is Becky's property. If it's not, I will let you guys know. But as far as I am aware, this is the closest house to them on the right, which was Jacqueline. And this is the house on the left here. There is quite a distance from these houses from one another. And on top of that, you can notice that these houses are actually set back off the roads here. And I think this is really important to acknowledge in regards to what a house can this house see a car on this street driving away at night in the dark. So let's look real quickly at the street view. Now again, real quickly, I wanted to mention again, this crime happened back in 06. So these trees may have been shorter. Some of these trees and shrubs may have been here, may have not been here. They may have pulled some, or some might be new. But from the case file photos, most of the landscape looks very similar back then that it does now on this Google Earth. So give or take the visual here, visibility I should say, to the house, it's not great. Not only is it set back far, but again, we've got things in the way. This on this side, you can see the visibility way more. I'm going to show you where we are right now because it gets confusing. So we are more on the left side of the house. There's greater visibility. Now I want to go to the other house on this side of Becky. On Becky's house here. And let's just take a peek at the visibility. Again, not the greatest visibility. Give or take what, the landscape was back then. Sometimes some areas get funny in this, but let's see where we are here. So let's look over here. There might be more visibility on this side. Let's see. So possibly I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So here's the deal. We have all these houses that are pretty far apart from one another, pretty set back in, and it was late that night. Now, Bob Ruff makes a point that unequivocally how a car could not have gotten away from the crime scene that night without being seen by a neighbor. And I am having a really hard time wrapping my mind around that being an absolute, because I see a lot of room for the possibility that a car could have left this neighborhood. And by the way, when we do a pull-out view here, a bird's eye view, in order to leave the neighborhood, you're going to go south. A fire truck will be going north at some point up to Becky's house on these roads. There are many streets that one could turn down, left, right, go down. I mean, it is very easy to be going out and a fire truck to be coming in and not to be seen. Let's see here. I want to point out too, real quickly, this is Tim Summerly's house. He looks like he was about 2 blocks from Becky's house. And he's the one that was interviewed in the very, very first episode that Bob did. And he's the one that walked up to the house. He was getting in bed. Him and his wife were about to go to sleep. And they noticed flames. And they drove up there to see what was going on. And he's the one that walked up and saw the wheelbarrow. This over here was another neighbor. I don't know if I took notes on. Farley stated she did not see anything or hear anything prior to the fire trucks arriving. So again, that's another neighbor who was probably either in bed, watching TV, taking a shower, eating, who knows what they were doing, but most likely not sitting at their window watching the main road here. So I'm curious what your guys' perspective is and point of view on this absolute that Bob made about a car being unable to leave the crime scene unseen.